Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 16 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Melissa Arthur. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and if you want to be house guest of the day, you can still send me a private message on YouTube. I'm going to be doubling up for the whole month of September. Yay! Alright, so yesterday, Cody nominated Nicole and Donnie for eviction. Boom! And it sounds like Cody did make his stupid speech with candy, because there was candy all on the table and stuff. But I'm wondering if they stuck with the same ceremony format that they've been using this season with the turn the key, the face shows up on the screen, or now that they have one HOH again, did they go back to the old, you're safe. Oh, thanks. You're safe. You're safe. I don't know, but we'll find out. So, Caleb has been working on his fanfiction biography of Donnie, and it's getting really juicy. He decided that Donnie is a genius, and he's got an IQ of at least 150, and one of the reasons that he can tell that he's a genius is because he has these tics. His eyes are always moving, his legs are tapping, or his lips are moving. So he decides from this that Donnie is so smart that his mind is always wandering. Okay, so he also thinks like, whoa, maybe Donnie's like a Silver Star winner. If he's a Silver Star winner, I'm gonna have to vote for him if he makes it to the end. And he's like, maybe he's like a weapons designer for the military, or maybe he's Rain Man. So here are some quotes from Caleb that will be appearing in his fanfic bio of Donnie. Donnie's a genius, or if he's not, he has a mental issue. Also, sometimes when you're so genius and so smart, you have to be thinking when you're not thinking. Oh, Caleb. Alright, so yesterday, Cody was locked out of the HOH room, and the house guests were like, whoa, do you think this is Pandora's box? So Derek was like, well, I wouldn't be surprised if Big Brother was trying to throw a twist this week to keep both Donnie and Nicole safe. Derek is all like, conspiracy, conspiracy. Well, guess what? It was nothing major. They got back into the HOH room not long after. I guess they were just like fixing the TV or something. Who knows? But Victoria has been having a rough few days. She was in a ton of pain from her wisdom teeth. I feel you, girl. I've been going through the same thing this whole week, and I'm waiting until after the season is over to get these mofos removed. But anyway, I'm wondering, why is Victoria chomping away on foods like popcorn and chips? The pain can be so horrific, and she's chewing these things. Whatever. So her mouth is all swollen, her cheeks are like, and Big Brother is giving her lots of Advil, and when I say lots, I mean too much. So we're gonna revisit this. But anyway, Donnie was asking Derek for campaign advice, and Derek was like, keep doing what you're doing, and I know you don't play this way, but you could emphasize that Nicole's a bigger threat, she's a bigger target. And Donnie's like, okay, thanks, bye. So Cody and Derek were having a little chat up in the HOH room, and I'm wondering, did Cody see the wizard and ask for a brain? Because he's coming up with a sort of good idea. So Cody's like, wow, what if Donnie wins the veto? Who should I put up in his place? So he's like, Derek, Daddy, should I nominate and send home a Frankie or something? And he always says a Frankie, as if there were more than one Frankie, like Frankie types. He's like, well, we should send home like a Frankie or a whatever. It's just like kind of pointless to say stuff like that at this point in the game, because there's like one of everyone. You know what I mean? There's one of each type, I guess. I don't know. But, Cody is contemplating getting rid of Frankie this week if Donnie wins the veto. So Derek is like, oh, you're talking about some big boy moves. Get a life. So Derek is like, yeah, I think you could do it for sure, but you shouldn't. So Cody keeps saying how he would really like to get rid of someone like Frankie this week, and Derek is just pushing that Donnie or Nicole have to go this week. He's like, yeah, if you don't get rid of one of them, everyone's gonna be going after you. And then he was trying to make Nicole look bad. He's like, Nicole can convince anyone of anything. Like, she starts talking and then you start believing and blah, blah, blah. So Derek is always there to squash anything exciting. And I guess Big Brother felt the same because they gave the house guests some wine and beer last night. Cody, Christine, and Victoria were the only ones drinking at first anyway, because Caleb was asleep when they got it. I think he was drinking later. But I'm thinking, like, should Victoria really be drinking? She's friggin' hopped up on Advil, like a lot of Advil, and then she's drinking some wine. I just feel like you should not mix that amount of medication and wine. But, again, we will revisit that. So, Cody told Christine, you need to be appropriate while drinking. And Frankie was like, she's not even appropriate when she's not drinking. And Christine is just laughing away. I would not be laughing at something like that. That's so messed up. She knows what she's doing is wrong, and she thinks it's hilarious. So Cody sets up some ground rules for Christine. He says, no sex jokes, no sex comments, no sex talk. And Derek is like, yeah, stay away from Cody. Well, she didn't. It was more of the same. So the Bomb Squad spent a lot of time late last night in the HOH room. And they're like, what if Victoria needs to leave the game for medical reasons? And they were like, yeah! They were like, that'd be great. Really? That's messed up. So they were like, yeah, she looks like a chipmunk. Funny. So then they were like, if Victoria gets pulled for the power veto competition and she doesn't pull herself out of it, that'd be so rude. So they were like, if that does happen, they were gonna tell her that she shouldn't compete because her face is all puffy and everyone's gonna see how swollen it looks on national TV. That is so messed up. So then the rest of the evening they spent Donnie bashing, and Christine said, if Donnie wins power veto, I'll kill him with my bare hands. What? Okay. So I don't think I need to say anything more about that. But they were also talking about how great their alliance is. Cody was like, I think he was pretty toasty on that wine, and he was like, are we the best alliance to ever run through this game or what? Ugh. All right, moving on. This morning, this happened around, I want to say it was either 11:14 or 11:15 a.m. Nicole was getting ready for the day in the bathroom area, and she sees Victoria go over to the bathroom, and she sees that, like, she's... So she's talking to Victoria while she's in the bathroom. She's like, are you okay? And she goes over to check on her. She actually opens the door. Victoria is lying on the ground next to the toilet. And she's like, oh my God. So Nicole is like, wow, you're burning up. You're really sweaty. She's freaking out. So she yells out for Derek, who runs over. He just like sprinted over, and then the feeds cut. So I'm not a doctor or a nurse or a Harvard medical professor like Donnie, but it sounds like she has a fever. And I'm thinking fever plus swollen cheeks plus wisdom tooth pain kind of sounds like she might have an infection or something. So the feeds were off for a while, and when they came back, Victoria was not in the house, and we find out that Big Brother took her to the emergency room, and then the house guests pretty much went on about their business. I mean, what are they supposed to do? So we're gonna come back to that, but it was pretty scary when it all happened because it was all just like very sudden. You could tell Nicole was freaking out. I think she was crying later, and it was just like wild. So there's a new mission for Team America this week, and Donnie was telling Derek that Team America has to come up with their own mission, and then America is gonna vote whether or not this mission is worthy of a reward. So this has to all be done by the power veto ceremony. It's kind of interesting, and I don't know if they just like ran out of ideas for missions or what, but Donnie is like, well, we could make the mission to keep Team America together this week. Maybe we could convince the house that Nicole's a bigger threat and vote her out instead of me. Donnie, work it! Yeah. I mean, what do you want him to do? He's in a really tough spot right now. So Derek was like, well, we'll talk to Frankie about it. So Caleb let us in on his plans today for his speech if he was going to be in the final 2 against Frankie. So he's hoping if this happens, he wants Frankie to say his speech first and talk about his charity that he's playing for to build schools in Africa. So then when it's Caleb's turn, he's going to get up and say, do you want the money to go to another country or go towards helping veterans who've lost limbs serving this country? What? So apparently his dad runs this charity that helps wounded veterans. I think it's pretty much like the Wounded Warrior Project, except not. So I just think, like, it's so messed up that he wants to, like, go charity versus charity. I just think that's so sick. But anyway, I just had to tell you guys about that. Victoria re-entered the house just before 2 p.m. She was wrapped in a blanket. She had a bandage like around here. So she was telling everyone what happened. She was like, yeah, when I was in the house I almost fainted because of the pain. And apparently she was dehydrated too or something because she had an IV at the hospital. They were giving her glucose through the IV. And I think they also gave her pain medicine. So I don't know if they actually checked out her teeth or what. I didn't hear any reference to an infection or anything. So I guess they're just going to go with painkillers and see what happens. I don't know. Maybe she was really dehydrated and that was messing her up. But I just don't understand why her cheeks would be so swollen if it wasn't infected. But right when she got back into the house, Victoria was like, I look like a mess. So she had to start putting on her makeup and working on that hair. Oh, Victoria, I guess she's feeling a little better. So some of the house guests actually missed the whole Victoria situation. And I mean, like, they didn't even know that she had left the house. And I'm talking about Frankie and Cody. They were asleep the whole time. So when they got up, they were like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So they filled them in on that. And then Donnie pulled Frankie aside to tell him about the Team America mission. Again, he pitched his idea to Frankie about keeping Team America together, and he's like, I don't know, we're gonna have to talk about it. You know they don't want to go with that plan. So Derek and Frankie were talking about it alone in the have-not room. And Derek was like, oh, I'd rather go for like a funny saboteur-esque mission. Is it saboteur or saboteur? I can never remember. Saboteur. Saboteur sounds like saboteured. So they do discuss Donnie's idea and Derek's like, well, if we do keep Donnie, he probably won't come after us. And he was like, yeah, but I'm still leaning more towards doing something funny. Of course you are. So they had the Power Veto competition today. And the players were Cody, Nicole, Donnie, got an itch, Christine, Frankie, and Derek. And the host was Caleb. I don't think Victoria was in attendance. I think she was resting. And apparently it was the good old stay or fold competition, which Cody won. As if this week could not get any more disappointing. Now what? So Cody also won a screening to see a screening of a new CBS show that's going to be starting soon. So he picked Donnie and Nicole to join him, because he is making their lives hell this week. So I guess they'll be getting to enjoy that reward soon. And it sucks. I don't know, maybe Cody will wake up and try to backdoor Frankie this week. I don't know. But we'll see. I'm thinking probably not. But you never know. So leave your thoughts in the comments, and until tomorrow. 3, 2, 1. Edit.